Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 14 review, Flash Strike, in which this episode is the 14th and 46th overall episode of The Bad Batch for the third season, and the second to last of the show until the final, which will come out earlier this morning, which I am being very late in the review for this episode. But I want to try and get this done before the next episode so I can review that on my own time. But we're finally about to see the final of The Bad Batch. Will it deliver a satisfying conclusion? Who knows? But for the moment, we'll see how this episode sets up, in which it follows up the last episode, where Omega befriends the Force-sensitive children from the previous episode, from the Tanta's vault, as she plots with them to try and make an escape plan, while the Bad Batch, after having a little bit of redesign in the armors, along with Vice Admiral Rampart, infiltrate an Imperial space station at Coruscant in order to get the coordinates to Tanta space. They just mount a stow on board with a vessel that is going there. Now we have to see how they handle the rest of their mission, infiltrating into it. Anyway, on to the episode. Pretty much it falls off when they last go into hyperspace, where Vice Admiral Rampart warns them the scanners will detect them, and once they exit hyperspace, but Hunter says they're going to detach it first before traveling on foot, with Crosshair warning about the jungle being all deadly with all the creatures there, which for once you have Vice Admiral Rampart agreeing with him. Then Wrecker asks Hunter how Echo's going to escape the vessel that they're currently on, with Hunter saying that Echo will find a way. And then you start to get the proximity alert sensor rings. Anyway, inside your vessel, you see Echo accessing the computers and copies as much data he can, where he hides as where one of those I-7 protocol droids attached, the ones with the bug heads, where we cut to Tanta's base, where Dr. Hemlock and is asking Commander Scorch about the current status of the vessel, with him saying that it's coming this way, but warns there might be a security breach, as the Bad Batch did infiltrate the orbital station with Vice Admiral Rampart, and they left with a shuttle just as the science vessel is here. Hemlock suspects that something might be wrong, so orders the starfighters they have to monitor the vessel. And then as we see the vessel, the science vessel descend to the science planet. They see a bunch of Alpha 3 Nimbus class V-wing starfighters coming into attack formation. They realize that they've been found out, and sort of skirmish ensures. You get Hemlock being received news, with him ordering a sort of lockdown of the base, and having and ordering that the vessel be inspected for troops as a bit of a firefight emerges. During this time, you see Omega, Eva, Sammy, and Jax hearing the blaster fire, with Omega saying that her family is here, and now it's the best time to put in motion her plans of scouting. Well, you have Dr. Emrikar telling her colleague Dr. Skalder to keep a look at the children while she deals with the procedures to be implemented. With Skalder saying are you just showing concern for the specimens? With her saying that she wants children wants the children to be kept an eye on, as Omega's getting excited that her brothers have come from her. Anyway, you get the shuttle about to crash, but you get the Bad Batch descending off of some cables, though Rampart very commercially, because he's not really trained for this sort of situation, which results in Hunter shooting his cable in order for him to crash land. And then you get let's see, as Hemlock learns that the shuttle has been crashed down, but he wants patrols to crash the site and also Fessel to be approached, showing his safety precautions here, and that during this point you see Echo disguising himself as a stormtrooper, as you see Lieutenant Novitzi, the blonde Imperial from the last episode, being inspected by Scorch along with his troopers, much to his annoyance, but Litzy complies once he's been told it's Hemlock's orders. And then you see Crosshair and Wrecker together, Litzy trying to scout the jungle with Wrecker wondering if they should break radio silence, but Crosshair says to have faith in Hunter, and I think making a bit of a joke, and they do eventually encounter Hunter, and there's a little joke about whether or not Rampart survives, which he gets annoyed at, but they do this anyway. During this conversation, you have Wrecker and Crosshair talking about joking about him getting in and out of the base, but him now going into the base to break someone out. But Crosshair showing that he doesn't really want to go back here, but showing a little sign of his hand, waving with the trauma he has. Says that he's doing it for Omega Safe. So yeah. Anyway, you get the gunships arriving and the stormtroopers inspecting with no one found in the wreckage. They start searching the nearby jungle. But anyway, Echo manages to safely sneak away from the shuttle, blasting the protocol droid from before, taking his hand to put onto his, since he doesn't really have a hand on his armor thing, sneaking out the way he came in with the droid docking tube thing. So you see him go there, while eventually managed to escape through an Imperial corridor, where back with the children, you start getting Eva and Jack getting a bit suspicious that there's no scientists there, but Omega says that this gives her the chance to go scouting and needs the other children to cover her, so they if she doesn't make it back in time. But the children confused, particularly Eva and Jax, try to ask what she means by that, but she tells them just to stall if the droids come snooping, with Samuel asking how, with Omega saying them to improvise and that she's counting on them, but you kind of get them word that they don't really know what to do. But anyway, you see her crawl into the system bit. It's avoiding some of the things going back and forth while you have Crosshair, the Bad Batch scouring the jungle, where Crosshair and Rampart are arguing about taking orders, but saying you used to follow orders, but Crosshair saying depends on who's giving the orders, with him wondering with Rampart saying that surely you cannot think that they can win against the Empire, and he gets brought out how they were both betrayed, but saying that him and Crosshair only loyal to themselves, with Crosshair disagreeing, saying that he's changed since the last time they met. But Rampart seems skeptical, but we'll have to wait and see on that bit. But anyway, you get more of Echo breaking into the Stormtrooper units as he is using his cybernetic arm to access the network tunnel in order to try and locate the vault, while you have Omega climbing through apparently the dumb waiter structure, or at least the bit of the panels where the blood samples go, where but then you get back to the Bad Batch, where Rampart where the Bad Batch and Rampart try to avoid stormtroopers, where they're discussing the next plans, but Rampart carelessly rests on a large furry Dryax, and as a result, they end up having a bit of a skirmish with it. Well, they don't do blaster fire because they don't want to try and draw the stormtroopers, though Rampart says that it's no point if they're going to be eaten. Eventually, he runs away, getting the stormtroopers' attention. They try to find the Bad Batch and start blasting at them, but as a result of the stormtroopers getting in the way of the sort of dry axe, and they start fighting it, some of them getting killed. With the Bad Batch then able to escape. Let's see, Crosshair notes that they've lost Rampart, in which you see him running and eventually tripping, encountering about at least 3 or so stormtroopers on patrol, with him realizing that, dang it, I've been caught. And then, hold on. You have Jax asking how long Omega will take to the other children, with Sammy pointing out that the Tantus medical droids and Dr. Scouter are coming, so they now have to try and do their stalling, which they head to the room since the droid does so, with Sammy carrying Bran to his, but you first get Sammy getting her blood sample taken first, but she tries to distract him by saying she's hungry, but Scouter says that it was something that passed, and you end up seeing more of Omega searching through, like, I believe what it's called, the dumbwaiter system. And during the course of her journey, she encounters the Scylla Beast clone that she and the Bad Batch encountered last season, where it's now revealed to be in a watery enclosure guarded by stormtroopers, being electrocuted and used by using satellite rays to calm it down so it doesn't move about, showing that this is the place where they started to do experiments on it a bit more. Where you then get cut back to the children, where this time Eva tries to distract Dr. Scalder and the droid by saying that she doesn't feel good, which she gets scanned, revealing that she's actually fine, but as a result, Scalder orders the droid to have her more monitored closely, because either she's suspecting her of lying, or just like saying, okay, let's see, keep an eye on her in case she does actually get ill. But anyway, as she's about to try and enter Omega's, you get Jax trying to say, I can volunteer first, but she insists on doing like Omega's first and tells Jack to wait her turn. But Omega is there, just managed to make it back in time before Dr. Scalder noticed that she was missing. And then we cut to like Omega, where that's entered Nala Se's laboratory as trying to gain access on like all the clones, and then notices Omega and her data, particularly like on the midichlorian count. And this is where you get to Emery Carr coming in. At first, expecting the stormtrooper. Echo tries to hide that he's doing like an inspection, but Emery Carr, most likely noticing like the hand and that he was in excess in Termo, realizes that it's Echo, talks to him, where she introduces herself as Emery Carr and how Omega talked about them, with Echo saying that the Bad Batch have heard a bit from about her from Omega, but with Echo saying that they came to rescue not only her when asked, but also all the clones that have been captured with this experiment. Letty pointing out that she's her involvement. She tries to say that she was just following orders, but Echo says that he's heard that line before, and asks how can a clone be a part of a project like this, with Echo saying that while Omega vouched for her, that he's not entirely trusting of her, but wants to believe that Omega, at the very least, is right. When then you get Echo demanding Carr where Omega is, with Carr saying that Omega is inside the vault, but says that she needs her help to get there, and says that they need to try and free all the other children there, which surprises Echo, because he didn't realize there were other children, with Emery Carr revealing that Omega's not the only child in prison in the base. And then you get Scalder finishing her testing and the children leaving the vault, with Omega telling the other children, after asking what she saw, saying that she saw something big and now has a plan to escape. and is asking them to help for Ötzi in order to do so, ending the episode. Anyway, overall thoughts. Okay, this episode was one of the more quicker episodes of season 3. Most of them have been 27, but this one I think was like 23 or 24 minutes. I know it depends on if you count like all the credit scenes and the Disney Plus thing afterwards, but yeah, I think it's at least a decent setup for the final. Though granted, just because of how quick this episode was, and because of like a lot more stuff that needs to be covered, makes me think that the final of the Bad Batch, and also because of the fact that we got 15 episodes and 16 episodes instead, is that episode 15 will be at least 40 minutes long, maybe an hour, maybe be the same length that the first episode of the Bad Batch was, which was, I think, like an hour and 60 minutes. But either way, with the length of this episode, I expect there to be a bit of a longer one next time, in the final episode of the Bad Batch. Anyway, I do like how you have the Bad Batch and Vice Admiral Rampart discussing when on the shuttle and what their plans are, with like Rampart just being like the ever so pessimistic that, oh, we're not going to make it. We should just not come to this thing. But you got like Crosshair just talking about how there's the danger of the jungle, and you're at for once. And I do like how Rampart tries to use this as like, yeah, I actually agree with Ritzy Crosshair for a change. This is dangerous, but yeah. But I do like how Ritzy, Hunter, and the Bad Batch throughout the episode insist that they're doing this mission. I do like how Wrecker shows concern for Echo in order to escape. And of course, let's see, they get noticed by Dr. Hemlock, which I do like the precautions he has of saying send shuttles, have like the science vessel inspected, and also to send scouts to like try and find them in case they crash land and all that. So I do like how it shows just how tight he's trying to keep the security of this laboratory, as he knows that what the Bad Batch and Vice Admiral Rampart could be capable of in terms of infiltrating their base. Yeah, Echo. I will admit, him wearing a stormtrooper armor has become it's a cliche at this point. It's a cliche. You see it in like nearly every media Star Wars ever since you had Han and Luke wear the Bad Batch. No stormtrooper uniforms in A New Hope, but now it's just like everyone here. Now, I will say the one thing that sort of makes Echo, I think, stand out with his stormtrooper disguise uniform is the fact that due to the fact that he is literally lacking a hand, ends up being able to use his hand to like plug in and access database, and in order to try and help disguise himself, shoots a protocol droid and takes his hand, which in some ways is kind of dark, but pretty clever to try and somewhat sort of hide. Of course, when he encounters like Dr. Emery Carr, it does not. She's immediately able to notice that let's see, he's Echo. But I do like how let's see, you have Echo just telling Emery Carr that how could she be a part of this skull? Judging her, like, how could you be a part of this whole this whole clone science project here, where you see, since she's like a clone herself and she's seeing what they're doing to their brothers. Well, she tries to say, I'm just following orders, but Echo, of course, like, is not having any of this, because it's like, let's see, he's probably been at the mercy of people following orders beforehand, and also seeing what happens when clones are just and also what happens to clones when they immediately directly follow orders. You get like the Jedi's extinction and then disposed of afterwards. So it's not like taken as an excuse, but I do like how he's very insistent to like Emery Carr to rescue, that he's rescuing Omega and the clones as well. I do like how he shows surprise that there are other children there. So anyway, speaking of Dr. Emery Carr, I do like how It seems like she's getting Dr. Scarlet, which is going to probably be her enemy. Maybe not. We'll have to wait and see what happens to her in the following episode. Where she's just trying to say, keep an eye on the children, where she's just trying to insist follow protocol, but see, granted, Scarlet thinks that she's caring for their well-being, which arguably she is, but if I was, granted, I would have probably, if I were her, getting the argument that I need these children to be okay, so keep an eye on them, but that's fine as well, but yeah. But I do like that now we're finally getting to see that, okay, Emery Carr is finally ready to sort of like betray Hemlock and the Empire by helping Echo, locate Omega and get the other get all the other children off the planet, along with probably also trying to help with like the clones. So yeah, you seem like we're finally starting to get her character development reaching its sort of conclusion ever since she was inside the vault, which no doubt is going to have her interacting with Omega in the next episode, especially if Echo goes through with Echo. Granted, with Echo wearing stormtrooper armor, makes me want, and abandoning his Bad Batch uniform, does make, which I am a bit disappointed of, but because I like the Bad Batch uniform, does make me wonder if this might be sort of death flags for Echo, since his partner Fives ended up ditching his clone trooper armor to wear a regular one when trying to do that under investigation on the Order 66 chips. But he ended up dying in that clone armor. But as a result, makes me wonder if that means something similar happened to Echo. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, Echo is arguably one of the two clones that, at the very least, you could argue probably could be disposed in this grand finale. The other being Crosshair, which I suppose it's probably now best to try and get into the sort of Bad Batch interactions. I do like how they're just like just discussing like the well-being of discussing how to rescue Omega, and then of course well-being, and then whether or not to break comms, particularly like Wrecker showing concern for both Echo and Hunter after like the crash landing, which all admit it was a nice little space fight and like little crash thing. But definitely the funniest part is with Vice Admiral Rampart. It's like couldn't really handle the cables and it's like, oh, it's stuck. I'm gonna die. It's the sort of attitude, but yeah. But I do like how you got Crosshair and Wrecker talking to each other and like trying to find Hunter. But I do like how the bit of it is here is like how Crosshair is talking about how it's with Crosshair. It's like, I don't really want to be on this planet, but I owe Omega. I would not have escaped without her. So it goes to show just how close that Crosshair and Omega have bond. Where despite the fact that Crosshair would go to a planet he doesn't ever want to return to, just for the sake of rescuing Omega, which could lead to a possible self-sacrifice, but we don't know if it would be one to like save her, but who knows? But I do also like how he interacts with Vice Admiral Rampart. We're talking about where he tries to compare them to each other, but Crosshair, when talking about how the Empire betrayed them, about how you only count each other, Crosshair says that I've changed, which I think he has, though granted I do find it interesting how Rampart seems to think that he hasn't, but that might just him being just sarcastic or not really just spending enough time with Crosshair now that he's reformed from the Empire at that point. Since the time when he was in the Empire. Speaking of Rampart, I do find it funny that I just like how funny he is, just like just constantly complaining and is unable to be like in a sort of action phase, be it the shuttle or when you get the Lynx cat thing attacking the Bad Batch. So yeah. It goes to show you that even though he might be might have gotten his rank for skill from like Imperial and the from the command structure of Imperials and maybe even the Republic, it's just like on the field he's absolutely useless. He can't really properly do the cable thing and unable to fight back against the let's see, lynx, cat, tiger, saber-tooth, let's see, creature, if you will. And of course, easily gets captured by stormtroopers again. So it's like, yeah, he's not really meant for the front lines, but wouldn't really say he's a good field commander either. But yeah, granted, I am curious to see where his story goes since he's now being captured. Will he be turned to Hemlock? Will he sell out the Bad Batch? Will he do this or that? Or will he try to help the Bad Batch and just so he can get off? But yeah, we do know that he's only cares for himself, so we have no idea what he will do to help himself. But who knows? He might strike a deal with the Empire if he thinks that no one can beat them, particularly the Bad Batch. But who knows? He might just end up being tagged along and ends up escaping with the Bad Batch, or maybe just one of the casualties in the final episode. We're not entirely sure, but I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Well, technically, it's tomorrow already. What else is there? Ah, yes, Omega and the children storyline. I do like how Omega is just so confident when hearing the blaster fire that her brothers have come to rescue her and is able to try and now do ready to try and scout for the next plan. But granted, I do like how she tries to explain, just try and improvise and stall to the other kids because they have had no real experience in the sort of mission combat stuff that she's been a part of, particularly how to properly stall. So they don't really know how to stall when confronting Dr. Scallard, who proving to be quite more of the antagonist for minor antagonist for this season, which I wonder if she's going to get up and somehow. But yeah, where you've got one trying to say I'm hungry, but she just dismisses that. And then one saying that, oh, I feel unwell, gets inspected quickly, and then shown to be fine, and then get told to be monitored more by medical droids. And Jack's unfortunately poor attempt of trying to get her to research her. Do a blood test on him first before Omega, but she says you can go next, showing that these kids aren't really the best at trying to improvise and stall, which is, to be fair, they are children, so they shouldn't normally be this good at trying to do plans stalling to buy time for one of their comrades. So luckily for them, Omega was pretty quick at finding out what the escape plan and inspecting what was behind the field, which gets to the big thing. The big surprise in this episode is the fact that the Zillo Beast clone is here and being experimented on and tortured. But I guess this probably makes sense since this place is the best cloning facility in the Empire. Tantus Base, so it's naturally probably want to clone the creature. Here and keep a monitor of it. But granted, I do like how it seems to be being used to pay off, which I just think some wondered if the last season's was just a one-off episode to explain that okay, this is what the Empire and Palpatine have been doing with the cloning of the Zillo Beast since the two-parter from season 2, which features quite a bit of a hold on a second. We've got this is it for the final for a couple of hours. Yep. Clips from Membron. The final will be coming up in a couple of hours. Granted, I will not be able to review it in the morning, nor will I be able to review it in the evening, or pretty much at all today. I'll probably have to wait a couple of days before reviewing it, but at the very least, I do intend to review the final when I get the chance. Granted, there's also a lot of things coming up since this week is pretty much Star Wars Day, and with May the 4th. You've got the Phantom Menaces, of course, with the 25th anniversary, and the Tales of the Empire coming out. So I'm going to try and watch those as well. Will I definitely do a stream on the Tales of the Empire? Will I do one on the Phantom Menace? Maybe, but The Bad Batch, I don't know. I'll probably try and sometimes do it on the weekend, but whether or not it'll be on the day, Star Wars Day, I'm not sure because I have something else planned to stream with a friend. That's not really Star Wars related, but who knows? What else is there? Where was I? Oh yeah, the Zillo Beast. Let's see the cloning. Let's see after like the two parts are left on the cliffhanger of like Palpatine when it cloned, it being brought back for the second season of Bad Batch. Glad it wasn't a one-off, and it's now seen to be used in Omega's plan, which I assume is she's going to plan on using it to let free the beast, so it causes all kind of chaos. And it looks like Clips Films Mel Braun as now left, but yeah, I expect her to unleash the beast and cause a bit of chaos around the base. Let's see, allowing it to be the distraction that allows the Bad Batch, the clones, and the children to escape, which I'm fine with, which will be interesting to see. I wouldn't be surprised if Hemlock dies by the Silo Beast's own attack. So yeah, I do like how that could be used here. But yeah, I do like how Omega is like after seeing the beast, just telling the others that she has a plan and about something big here that he needs them help to do so, which makes sense that she now needs them help. Now, granted, I think she needs to be a bit more clear on those instructions since they weren't really good with the whole distracting with the scientist thing. Overall, I definitely say it's a pretty good episode to set up the final. Granted, I know there's some concern like, where's Captain Rex? Is he going to be in the final? Are we going to see Captain Rex fight for? Are we going to see Captain Rex come in and fight? Now, granted, from the looks of things, it doesn't look like Captain Rex is going to be a part of the final. Granted, with the stuff with Commander Wolf set up, who knows? Maybe there will be addressed there, but if not, it might be addressed in whatever comes after the Bad Batch for Star Wars animated shows. We do not know. It seems some people are speculating on what Dave Filoni wants to try and focus afterwards, like a Rex-centered series, or maybe one with like a Sarge Ventress. Who knows? At the moment, it remains unclear, but let's see. I think there's enough to build up with like the Bad Batch trying to infiltrate the thing, Vice Admiral Rampart being captured, Omega seeing the Zillo Beast. Let's see, Emery Carr asking to help Echo to help free the children, as well as all the other clones, and Hemlock just preparing the security of the base, making sure it's locked down tight, making it much more difficult for the Bad Batch. So yeah, overall, I'd say it's probably about a solid 8 to 8.5 out of 10. Pretty good episode and decent enough to set up, even though it was a bit shorter than usual, but I guess that's what happens sometimes. But yeah, overall, good episode, and yeah, that's all I have to say. For those who end up listening to this, and for those who are part of the stream, even only just a little bit, Calypse from Melbourne, I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. I look forward to next time when we review the 15th and final episode of The Bad Batch in the third season. So for now, I am Blue Star Saber signing off. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye. May the Force be with you.